Hi everybody. So today's a beautiful day here where I am in my village. This is my garden. And I just decided that I really wanted to take advantage of the day because our rainy season is shortly upon us. And once the rainy season starts, there will be very, very few afternoons that I can spend outdoors enjoying the garden. What I wanted to do today is a little bit of a different format than what I've been doing up until now. I've been doing more instructional videos that could be geared towards people who are learning using different techniques. And today's video was actually inspired on a post that I saw on Facebook yesterday, I believe it was. And the post was a cartoon, and it was comparing artists in the past, like I can't remember, 200-300 years ago, versus artists in the world right now. And the whole point of this little cartoon was to stress that in the past, because there was no pressure of social media to constantly be posting and producing, artists didn't produce as much work, and what they did produce was of better quality. So I thought today the whole video would be on my views of social media and what advice I would give to any new artists or even any artists that feel somewhat stressed by this need to constantly produce something for social media. I'm relatively new, I would say, to the art world. I've been painting more or less about 5 years, and it wasn't until about just before COVID, I'd say, that I really decided to take my art seriously. So that's why I'm saying I am relatively new in terms of art as a business. And one thing that I felt when I started the business was I needed to reach as many people as possible. Where I am right now, I divide half of my year between Mexico and my home in Canada. Here in Mexico, I'm in a little village, basically. It's a very poor village, and I do not have a market here. That's out of the question. And I realized very quickly that in order to promote myself, to promote my work, to promote my business, and even to grow, social media was a wonderful tool. So I have my Facebook account, I had an Instagram account, I tried TikTok, but it wasn't for me. Now I'm going on to YouTube, and you know, it is really good. It's a wonderful tool. It has allowed me to get in touch with people on the other side of the world that I would not be able to be in touch with ordinarily. You know, chatting with other artists, you know, asking for help, asking them for advice, having their input. It has been incredibly valuable, and I think social media is a fabulous tool for this. I cannot say enough. Even just for promoting your business, or your artwork, you are reaching people that, you know, you couldn't reach if you were just doing local festivals or local fairs or selling within your local area. It's been wonderful in that sense. On the other hand, there's a positive and there is a negative towards social media. And some of you might be aware I did have a few health issues last year. So I really had to stop painting. Basically, I had no motivation to paint whatsoever. And having nothing to paint, nothing to show, I obviously had to stop doing posts. And I noticed in not doing the posts that a lot of stress, if we want to call it that, just lifted off of my shoulders. I didn't even realize how much stress social media put on me as an artist. And the reason for that has to do with the algorithms. Speaking with artists who have been painting and posting for many, many, many years before me, They say that it was much more artist or creative friendly in the past. Right now, the algorithm is such that when you do a post, it doesn't reach all of your followers, all of your subscribers. It only reaches a very limited quantity. We'll say, for example, you have 1,000 followers, it reaches maybe 30. And if those 30 people are reacting positively, the algorithm views your post as being worthy of being shared even further. So it sends it to another 30 people. And again, it can keep building and building and building as such. Now, sometimes you post something and it just automatically clicks with your followers. And you do get a lot of positive reactions. And then there are other times, you can spend double or triple the amount of time making the artwork or making a video, and only 3 or 4 people see it. And it's very frustrating as a creative. And unfortunately, as artists, we don't have control over who sees our work. And I know, speaking with a lot of friends who are not artists, they were not even aware of this. I would mention, oh, did you see a certain post that I put on Facebook, for example? And they'd be like, no, did you post something? I said, yes, I did. And they didn't see it because they were not chosen by the algorithm to see the post. So as an artist, as a creative, you constantly feel this pressure of, I need to post. Because the more you're posting, the more the algorithm sees that you are interacting with other people, and other people are interacting with you. And it raises your level to something that's more worthy. Oh, more people will want to see this. So if you stop posting or you don't post a lot, your reach is very, very, very small. And as I said, it does create a lot of stress because artwork is not the same for everybody. For example, when I first started to paint, I was really, really attracted to fluid art. And to do a fluid art painting does not take nearly as much time as to do a realistic painting in, let's say, pastels, or sometimes I paint in oils. So you could produce a lot more fluid art paintings than you can produce one of the type of artworks that I paint now. And one form of artwork is not better than any other, but somebody who is doing an art or has a business where they can produce things much more quickly, they have a lot more that they can post. Versus when you are working, for example, I do a lot of realism in pastel, and to do just a little section where you're doing hair by hair by hair by hair on an animal, obviously that takes a lot of time. And when I want to post a picture, well, the picture today, it looks almost the same as the photograph that I took yesterday because, I didn't paint for 12 hours. I painted for 4 hours. And if you're doing all these little hairs and all the shading, the section that you cover is fairly small. So you're constantly worrying, well, what can I post today in order to stay within the algorithm, to stay at the same level or the same reach? So since I was not posting as much because of the illness, I noticed, well, first of all, when I did start posting again, I basically had to start from scratch. But the one thing I did notice is that suddenly I really started to enjoy artwork again. I enjoyed being creative because I didn't have this constant stress of post, produce. And I realized that this is what artwork should be. social media is no longer friendly to certain creatives. I made the conscious decision that I wanted to shift the direction of my business. I'm not so much focused on commissions and paintings. I'm moving more towards teaching. But the one thing that I did notice is this weight was lifted off of my shoulder. And I do know from a few artist friends that I have spoken to, they've actually decided that they want to get off of social media completely because it's ruined their love of artwork. So I think my advice to anybody that's starting off is really you need to have a balance. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. Don't depend solely on social media. I apologize for the noise. That's one of my neighbor's dogs. Don't depend solely on social media because it will drain you. It might not initially, but over time it will just suck the enjoyment out of what it is you are creating. So guys, my advice is use it as a tool. Use it to promote yourself, use it to get in touch with other artists, but don't depend on it because it will kill your art business. That's the basic thing that I'm going to say, because your business depends on your creativity. And if you just are constantly feeling like you have to produce and you lose all joy in doing it, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? So this is just my take on social media. I do like it, as I said, but within a certain range. I've learned now to step back, and I don't get upset if only 4 people see a post and wonder why, what can I do? Because the next post that I post suddenly might get 1,000% more reach, which actually did happen last week. I did a post and I had a reach of 1,300 more people who saw the post versus the one that I did after, and only 4 people saw that post. So at the end of the day, really, you have to take it in stride and you need to enjoy what you do. And if it means taking a step back from social media, then that's what you need to do. Get out, meet people, go to art fairs, and that it reduces the range of people that you can get in touch with, that can see your work, but it will help you get a good balance. So good and bad for social media. And my advice is balance, guys. All right. So that's it for today. I hope everybody has a lovely day. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, please click the like button. Please subscribe as well. If you have any ideas for any future topics, something you'd like me to discuss, please don't hesitate to write it in the comments. All right. So everyone, once again, have a good day. Keep painting. Keep smiling. Bye-bye.